first, I think that there is a very deep-rooted mental thing going on that is beyond the help of pastors, presidents, senators, whatever politicians or whoever is trying to help or push these programs and things out to help these kids. They need to really get into the deep mental as to what is going on and why are they doing these things and why they do not value human life.
They have nothing to look forward to. They have no goals. Most of them have low self-esteem. You have to look back, if you want to get deeper about it, you have to look back into the generational thing. Whereas mama living off the government, they not forcing their kids or teaching their kids goals and values, so they have nothing to look forward to. Most of the fathers can't stay out of jail for a simple fact they are trying to get ahead, and they're not trying to get ahead the right way. Only thing that they were taught is to take.
Some of the causes is like they walking around with their pants half down and they smoking them blunts and throwing up different signs, like with their fingers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I think it's people, adolescents, looking for purpose in life, looking for meaning. So gangs, I don't think that gangs are inherently evil, first of all. I think that people coming together and creating intentional families and intentional communities is great.
But one mainly is lack of proper parenting, being in an extremely bad environment, an extremely hostile environment at that.
Because you have kids raising kids. And if you don't know right from wrong, which most kids don't, well, I'm going to say they know right from wrong, but they don't want to live by it.
63rd, and I can't think of the street, but over there by Ashland, this little young girl was on her way back home, and somebody had grabbed her and took her away and killed her. And I've been hearing that a lot on the news.
A group of people who are going to come together for each other.
Well, I guess you could start by teaching them and showing them different experiences and possibly putting them in another environment for a short or better yet a long period of time if possible, to show that there is better than this and you can be better than this.
It could have been all the cause of somebody was liking her. And it could have had something to do with drugs.
Right.
Or either she could have owed somebody some money.
Okay.
Somebody wanted, somebody was liking her and she wouldn't go their way. So that's the reason why they
Maybe rape.
The reason why I figured they killed her, so she wouldn't run back and tell it.
It's more like creating a family. This is my understanding of it.
Yeah.
So maybe there's not support coming from church, there's not support coming from home, maybe there's not anything going on at school that they feel like they're a part of, so they join together.
Well, I believe it's extremely big problem because even though some of them don't go to school, they're not learning anything. They're only using that as a babysitter to say, hey, I went there, so that no one will know that they've been home all day, even though I would see the same people who I see sitting at the bus stop 4 or 5 hours later when I come home from school. They're still sitting at the bus stop because they haven't been doing anything.
Right.
And so, I've also met people who will continue to have business in the community, even though it's dangerous, because as long as they can help someone out, that's good enough for them.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're making a difference, even though it's a very small difference on an extremely large scale. They are making a difference. And while that is very respectable. At the same time, you have to look at the bigger picture because a lot of them, a lot of them need to be reached and they're not being reached, unfortunately. And your efforts alone are not going to help.
All right. Some of the rappers use their music to express themselves as far as what they've been through to get to where they're at. But and then some rappers, just are naturally gifted with the things that they sing about and talk about. Okay, you have, basically one that I know of, and that's Will Smith, that did not demean women, did not glorify drugs and money and guns, and still, look at him, he's successful. But you have these rappers, say 50 Cent, The Game, Ludacris, all them, they basically come from the street, so only thing they know is the street. And shoot the police and all that. What do you think when kids listen to that? First of all, kids' minds are sponges, and when they listen to that, they think that's what's supposed to be. They think that's how society is supposed to be, and that's wrong. That's wrong. That is really wrong. Okay, you have a few that's trying to break the cycle, but majority, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But I'll tell you one thing. If they do not act right, and follow the path, I tell you, gangs lead to two places: death in the penitentiary. No way around it. No sugarcoating it. No ifs and buts about it. Two places.
They need to get on the phone and call 911 at all times.
Right.
They need to get on the phone and call 911. And also, I think some of them need a church home. Yeah, I think they need a church home.
That's the whole big systematic question of race.
Well, it's even though the father isn't there, the mother needs to step up twice as hard. I mean, you have these children, you need to take responsibility for these children if the father isn't there. My father wasn't there either, but my mother did what she had to do to provide for us, to make sure we got an education, we were going where we needed to go. And the children also need to help her, unfortunately, they're going to have to make a couple of sacrifices of their own to step up and help their mother so that they can all have a better situation. It's unfortunate that they have to do that at an early age, but at the same time, like I said, when you look at the bigger picture, do you really want to be living in this situation all your life?
Right.
Is this just a road to nowhere?
So a lot of people's out here scared and they don't say nothing and they ain't got a phone on them. But I figure they should call 911 at all times. That's just like, I ride the bus a lot. I don't stand at too many bus stops. If I don't see a bus coming, I catch the next bus on the other side of the street and ride down until I see another bus coming.
I'm not sure how to answer that. I mean, I think it's a question of resources. It's a question of... God, that's a big question. That's a big question.
There is a lot of hope for those fathers because they, definitely with the male figure there, they are that ultimate push on their children and on themselves that they need to rise above that situation, because that male authority does make a difference. But if you don't have it, like I said, the mother needs to step up, and when you have it there, you need to utilize that to the best of your abilities so that you can have a better life for yourself.
Well, I think we need to all come together.